That's the screw of the year right there. Perfect, perfect installation. Jokes are extra. I didn't know I had to make jokes.
So you're a professional?
Yes. We don't want to work too hard. They can work hard, not me. Good morning, everybody. It's Ian from Timber Pointe Home Inspection. Today we're here in the community of Mackenzie Lake and we're doing a new window replacement inspection for EcolineWindows. So come with me and we'll go see what we're up to today. So before we head inside, we're just gonna look at the old windows that have been removed already. So this house is built in somewhere in the mid 1980s. So these are wood frame windows that were installed originally. Very common type of window that was used in the 1980s. Overall, a very solid window, but not very energy efficient and requires a lot of maintenance. A lot of painting, sanding of the window frames itself. The windows we're installing today are vinyl windows. There's no real maintenance required. So one of the main advantages of replacing the windows. So these ones are a double pane wood frame window. A lot of them are casement style, so they have a crank. So we're gonna go inside, we'll see what other windows have been taken out and we can inspect the window frames and the structure around and make sure that everything is being done properly today. We're here at the front of the house and we're just taking a look at the window opening where the original windows have been removed here. So there was a larger picture frame fixed window in place and then either fixed windows or casement windows on the corners. So when we look at the window opening, what we want to look for is any signs of decay or rot, water damage where over the years water was getting in behind the window and sitting there for a while and causing damage. From what I can see, everything looks nice and solid. There's no signs of any rot or decay. I can put my level on the windowsill just to make sure that there's a nice fair slope away from the house. So if any water was to get in behind our newer windows, that water would be able to drain away. You can see that some of the existing insulation has been removed around the window opening. When they install the new window, they'll be putting in a spray foam, a low density spray foam insulation, which is a lot better at air sealing. So coming to the back of the house, we have some more windows that have been removed. This is a good area where we can look at the existing batt insulation that was used to fill the opening in the old wood windows. Batt insulation is, it was an older style of a process of sealing up the windows. It is an okay at insulating, okay job at insulating, but not a very good job at air sealing. When we use the low density foam today after we installed the vinyl windows, it's going to do a lot better job of creating a 100% airtight seal around that window, so preventing any loss along the sides of the windows. So this batt insulation, when you do install it, it compresses and once you compress this batt insulation, it becomes essentially useless in terms of energy efficiency. So the newer spray foam, when we get to that step, we'll be able to discuss how it's applied and how it's going to be used to seal up the new window when it's installed. So I'm just checking another existing window opening. Just taking a look at the sill, checking for any water damage. I like to take a knife and just poke around, feeling for any signs of rot or decay. And everything feels really solid with these existing sills and the sides of the jamb and the opening. Everything looks really good. We're here in one of the bedrooms where an existing window is in place. You can see it's all wood trim and casings around. We're going to be installing the vinyl window, so everything is all 100% waterproof. There's no need for any maintenance. In the winter time, you can get some condensation on the window. That condensation will drip down and cause damage to the trim and the casings. With the vinyl windows, you don't have to worry about that. You can just wipe it away with the cloth. Looking at this existing casement window that was in place, you can just one lock, so not a very tight seal, and for security purposes, very easy to open. And the crank handle here, just kind of a little turnstile handle. The hardware itself, very basic, just one arm. Not going to be very good in the wind. So you can see how easy this window comes out. Once the pry bar is put underneath the window, it'll just pop right out. So just take the window out. We've got a couple other guys down below helping take it out. Make sure that it doesn't damage any property here. So that's the window removed, and then you can see this existing bad insulation that will get taken out. I'm going to cut back the building paper and then install that flashing again, and then we'll get ready for a new window to be installed. How long have you owned the house for?
2 years.
2 years? Okay. So your maybe previous inspector made a mention about replacing the windows when you bought the house, or no?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Not necessarily, but we just want to take advantage of that Greener Homes grant. So
Yeah. No, this house is a good candidate for it. I was, looking at some of the older windows before, so lots of maintenance needed.
downstairs windows don't seem to have any insulation around it. So.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, this bad insulation we were talking about earlier, it more or less it just adds a little bit of an R value.
Yeah.
But in terms of air sealing, it doesn't do anything. So they're going to use the low density spray foam,
Okay.
and they spray all the way around. I'll show you how when they install it. It looks really good, and then you don't going to have any air leakage. And then these newer Ecoline windows are really nice.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them, and they're comparing to the other companies out there. They're much more higher quality. If they do find any signs of rot or something, then they have to just cut out that existing structure and then replace it. But all the windows that I've seen look good.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of going over the top in a way that they're putting on that 3M flashing. That was never there before.
Yeah.
So they're, making it still a modern installation. So we're just taking the windows out of the packaging and we're getting them ready to be sent inside. This one's going to be going right to the front of the house. This is one of the larger picture frame windows. And lift it into place.
You want to join them?
I'm not that qualified. This is always the fun part of the inspection for me, getting to see the window get put into place. So we put some pressure treated shims underneath the window, and we're gonna make sure that it's nice and level and plumb, and then we'll be able to fasten it into place. Oh yeah, that's the screw of the year right there. Perfect installation. Now that the window's been fastened into place, we can now put in our low density spray foam. This will create that nice airtight seal around the window. We mentioned earlier about the bad insulation and the disadvantages of having that in place. Talking to the homeowner, they were actually using their own spray foam because they noticed that the older windows were so leaky. So putting in this new spray foam with the professional installation, it's gonna create a world of difference for these new homeowners. Who needs a ladder when you have a pail? You stand right on that. It's pretty good. Before we go any further, we always got to do our glazing check. We're going to see how many panes of glass we're dealing with today. My guess is we got a triple pane window here. Best way to test is take a flashlight, lighter, candle, lantern, anything that's got light. Just put it up close to the window, and we can see we got 3 different beams of light, which would indicate we got 3 different panes of glass that we're reflecting off. So my professional diagnosis would be, we'd call this a triple pane window. So we're putting, installing our caulking around the window with the brick mold installation. This is one of the most important steps when finishing off the window install. We want to make sure we have a nice bead of caulking around the edge of the window. This will prevent any water from getting in behind. Over time, that caulking will degrade. So it's important every few years to do a little walk around your house and have a look at the caulking, make sure it's not cracking or separating. So it should look like this when it's, when it's in good shape. There shouldn't be any cracks or separation. If there is, just take a putty knife, cut it out, and re-caulk it. It's not a big deal. So we're gonna go all the way around the window, and we're gonna do that with all the windows we install today, and that will prevent any water from getting in behind. So we installed a casement window in this corner of the house. So we're gonna have a little test here, and you can see that the locking mechanism is very solid, doesn't stick or doesn't feel loose. We turn the crank, nice heavy duty handle. There's also a little snapping mechanism to hold the crank in place. So we'll give it a little crank open, make sure we don't bump our installer. And we can see we have a double arm holding the casement window in place. If you have the window open, you got a strong wind, it's not going to cause the window to break. It's very heavy duty. The locking multi-point locking mechanism. This is great for security. Window is locking on all different points around the window, which is really good. And then we can give it a close, and you can see that the seal, the rubber seal, is really heavy duty. It's going to be very weather tight, very energy efficient. So close it up, give it a close, and everything is nice and secure and nice and tight in place. Really good, really high quality window that Ecoline uses here. And with the installation, can't beat it. Okay, so we're just wrapping up here today. We saw the old windows come out. We discussed why they were being replaced. We saw the cleanup of the existing window opening and adding the new flashing. We installed our new windows, fastened them into place, shimming them into place, insulating, and then adding our caulking around the exterior. Everything looks really good today. I'm very impressed with what Ecoline is doing here. And they got a little bit of work left to do today. I'm Ian from Timber Pointe Home Inspection, and I'm recommending EcolineWindows for your next project.